Okay, so picking back up with book one, we've jumped ahead to line 418 from 209, and in that intervening time, Venus goes to Jupiter and makes a speech, kind of complaining to him that why is Aeneas so troubled by all these horrible things that have happened to him? Doesn't he have a fate to found Rome? And so Jupiter's like, no, it's okay. Like, it'll be fine. He's gonna found Rome. Don't worry about it. It's fate. And he sends Mercury to Rome, to Carthage, to make sure that Dido is welcoming to Aeneas and his men when they crash land in Carthage. And then Aeneas and Achates wander around after the venison burgers on the beach part. They are wandering around in the woods and they find this like beautiful young huntress, and they're like, wow, she's so pretty, and maybe she knows where the heck we are. And so they're asking her like, where are we? And she tells them about the land. Turns out it's actually Venus who's disguised as this young huntress. And she tells them that they're in Carthage, and she tells them the story about how Dido flees from Tyre, and how her husband was killed by her brother, and then she founds Carthage, and there's all this, like, oh, she's so great. And then Aeneas is like, well, hey, like, you seem sort of more than just a young huntress, so, like, I'm gonna call you a goddess, but I'm not sure which one you are. And he identifies himself, and he, like, tells his story, and then, Venus is like, you guys should really just, like, go into Carthage at this point. And then there's like a metaphor, or like there's I don't know what's the word I'm looking for. There's a sign of like 12 swans flying overhead, and it's like, oh, like that's the 12 ships that survived the storm, and like go into Carthage and check it out. And so she like wraps them in a mist so they can't be seen, and so they walk into the city, or they approach the city, and that's where we pick up. So in line 418, they are climbing this hill, and let me get my laser pointer here. Okay, so they're climbing this hill, and they, right, so it's like, meanwhile, they snatched up the road where the path shows or demonstrates, and now they were climbing the hill, which, very much overhangs or towers over the city. So this verb is taking a dative, and oh look, here's the dative. It faces, it ad spectats, right? It faces the opposing, the opposite citadels from above. So that's the hill. So it's like this like hill kind of facing the city, and they're up on the hill looking down on the city. And so Aeneas kind of wonders at the mass. Right? This is like a mass or a huge bulk or something, a moles. Or like a mole in chemistry, yay. The masses, right? These giant buildings, formerly huts. This is like a weird, like maybe even a Carthaginian Phoenician word for huts. And he wonders, if I can get my thing to work, he wonders at the gates and the noise and the paving of the roads. And the burning Tyrians press on. Some, meaning some of the Tyrians, draw out the walls, right? They build out the walls, they lead out the walls to build the citadel, and they roll up rocks with their hands. Others select a place for the roof, and they enclose it in a ditch. They they select, or they choose laws and magistrates and the Holy Senate. This legun here, I wrote zeugma because the legun is being used in two different ways. It's that they sort of, like, they write laws, and then they also kind of elect magistrates and a sacred senate. So legun, zeugma is when you use one word in kind of two different ways. And here some dig out a port here. Others locate the kind of deep foundations of the theater. They cut out from the cliffs, the rocks, right? So they cut out from the rocks huge, immense columns, lofty set decorations. I don't know how to, lofty ornaments, maybe, yeah, lofty ornaments for the, the scenery, the backdrop about to be. Maybe stages about to be. So in this little section, Aeneas is sort of observing all the stuff that they're building. We can sort of see that they're building a theater and a citadel, and there, all these people are working, and there's lots of architectural stuff going on. So that is that section, and there will be a video for the B simile starting at line 430.